beautiful South Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players, though. OTAs, training camp, preseason has all led to this moment when they officially kick this one off to get the season underway.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
One down, only about 500 more to go this season. He would certainly welcome most of his passes this year going as well as that. Now that the first one is over, time to settle into a groove and begin the long journey towards Week 18 and hopefully the playoffs.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Straight ahead is Hall. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Boy, fingers crossed here. First quarter of a new season, already an injury. And while they attend to him, we'll step aside. Go! They go play action here on first down. That's complete. It's Malachi Corley. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
On the set. Set. Bronco switch. Rock, smash, smash. Hut, hut.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds Wilson. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Garrett Wilson, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Jets are on the board here first in the season opener. Point after try forthcoming. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. 5 plays there on that drive. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Turbo 1 high. Turbo 1 high.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend, Sure that he's right.
On first down, back to Achane. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first two plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2, now third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Ready, set.
Here's Tua. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Here's Hall again. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Let's go.
In motion right, that's Wilson. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Isaiah Foskey brings him down. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Ready.
The drive starts with a run from Achane. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
All right.
Running left, Achane. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run for it with Achane. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
In motion, Hill. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here's 2nd and 3. From midfield, here's Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Get set. Go ahead. G. Solo left Zion.
Tua going to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Ready, side. Side.
A give left side. Here's Achane. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 35. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On third down, Achane.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Ready, set.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Tua. Gets this one to Hill. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down. No sign of Tua departing. 4th down. They're going for it. Tua on 4th down. Passed. Now the ball comes loose. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting it, the better your odds of scoring 6 points instead of 3. They took a chance there. It just didn't pay off.
Yeah, right here, the anti-analytics guys go thumbs up. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ready. Here we go. Here we go. Let go.
He'll look to throw. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now back to throw. That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2.
Let's go now.
Play action. They'll throw. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Facing second and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards you needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Ready? Set, go! Go!
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
They'll run with Hall. Fighting his way through contact. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall, 37 yards. And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
We see this a lot on third and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Here's Achane to start the drive. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Looking to pass. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one,
But didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive. Start, they went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now, this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. This completes a Corley. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
They'll look to throw again. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. This pass out wide to Hall. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Ready up!
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go!
Back to throw again. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that one too wide and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
Right here. Out.
Tua, a final shot before half. And going deep for Hill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Caleb Williams, 2 touchdown passes as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we'll skip over to Louisiana to check in on the Saints at home in New Orleans. And they trail the visiting Buccaneers as that game has gone to the half. Bryce Young.
It looks like we'll have to wait another week to get our first halftime report of the season as we move right along to the second half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Go ahead.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
Ready.
But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Get set. Out.
Up the middle, Achane. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker
44.
was
Ready.
and getting there.
Ready, set.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That's out to Hill, right side complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Complete to Washington. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Tua sets up to pass it. And his throw is incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Ready.
A give, running right, Achane. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Ready.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Yeah.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. There to get a hand in and knock that one away, DJ Reed.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Let's go now.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. So here's a 3rd and 14. He'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. Oh, look at the juke. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Caught by Wilson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
Here we go, set. Ready, ready.
They'll drop to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jets are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready, set. Ready, set.
And they'll give this to Chan. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Ready.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had good success. 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Corner, long.
Now Tua. But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
It's Hill, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Hall again. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Hall on a give up the middle. Nifty move. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Ready.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Ready.
Tua going to throw. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Go ahead.
Here's Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this week 1 contest. Tua setting up shop to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
You're right here.
Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. From the gun, it's Tua. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Dolphins get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now down to 20. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And did the Dolphins get it? Yes. Miami football. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. From midfield, here's Tua. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Got an open man. It's Washington. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Down to the 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a jet touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
All right, let's go.
And he'll be taken down at the 18.
East right, snug.
Again, it's Achane. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Well, this was not just the